This is the 2024 Honda Ridgeline TrailSport. Is this the most versatile Ridgeline trim level? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Holmes Honda to tell you about this all-new trim level for 2024 for the Ridgeline and give you all the details to help answer the question I phrased in the title of the video. If you want to know more about this model that has an exterior color of diffused sky pearl, check out the link down in the description of the video. And as far as the TrailSport trim level goes, here is what the changes are or additions compared to what we normally see. Obviously the badging here on the front end, the TrailSport badging also on the tailgate back there and in the interior on the headrests on the driver and passenger front seats. LED lighting will still be here. LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, and LED fog lights way down there on the lower portion of the bumper. There's also a skid garnish and underbody protection. The front skid garnish and the underbody protection will help out with off-roading. Now you still have the same ride height across the entire trim levels, every trim level of the Ridgeline at 7.9 inches. It is all-wheel drive. That's going to be standard as well across all trim levels. How about our tire and wheel size? These are special off-roading tires for this model that are unique to the Ridgeline TrailSport. 245 on your width, a 60 series sidewall wrapped around the 18-inch wheels. You will also find softer springs and thinner anti-roll bars to help out with off-roading, but at the same time, that does not compromise on-road comfort. That's always a good thing. We will have power adjustable side view mirrors, turn signal indicators built in. They are manually folding in case you were wondering, and you can see what all is here. Now, you don't see blind spot monitoring here if you're not used to looking at these models. That's actually located right here. So it is here, it's just not on the mirrors as it is with a lot of the other Honda models. When we finally see a full redesign of the Ridgeline, I'm sure that will change. Here is the remote. The main thing that I know people are after here, right here, the coveted remote start. And that's always a good thing. We'll also finish things up here with one of the other changes that you'll find, which is the stamped Ridgeline logo. Here with the tailgate, we'll also have the TrailSport badging as well. For those of you who have kept up with the changes that came to the current generation of the Honda Pilot, you know that it does not have the 3.5 liter VTEC Honda V6. But if you're a fan of that particular engine, good news. It's still here under the hood of the Ridgeline. That's something that hasn't changed for 2024. Still making 280 horsepower, 262 pounds-feet of torque, and mated to a 9-speed automatic transmission. And let's go ahead over here and take a look at our MPGs. We're going to be looking at 18 city, 23 highway, 20 combined, 5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. I'm going to push the button right here to open the gas door. You do have capitalist fuel fill here, and it is a 19.5 gallon gas tank. And you're still going to have the tailgate here that has been on the Ridgeline for quite a long time that you can use as a conventional tailgate, or you can reach down here right under the TrailSport logo or to the left just a little bit, and you can open it like this. By the way, the Ridgeline can tow up to 5,000 pounds. Payload comes in at 1,515 pounds, up to 1,599 pounds. You'll have your bed liner here. That's always going to be useful. A little bit of lighting in here. We'd like to see some LED lighting make its way to the bed of the Ridgeline. And you'll have your tie-down points here. And the good thing about the fact that the wheel wells right here on each side are as low as they are, that means you have some extra space for anything you might want to haul back here because you don't have to work around those so much. And we'll still have our bed trunk right here. That's always going to be useful. There is the spare tire and all of the tools to change that tire. You have your area down here, which does have a drain plug. If you fill it with something and need to drain water, whatever, you do a lot of things here. You can actually buy partitions that come in partition. You put them into these slots right here and partition this to 4 different areas, or however many you want to with those. You could always do something such as maybe 2 on the outside and a large one in the middle. Kind of makes this the ultimate tailgate truck in a lot of ways. This is lockable, by the way. You can see the lock right there. And as we look into the back seat area, here's what we're going to find. Cup holder right here. There's going to be one on each door, obviously. A little bit of space right there for whatever will fit. The armrest itself, yeah, seems to be pretty comfortable. Orange contrast stitching, which, by the way, there is orange ambient lighting in the interior of the TrailSport model, TrailSport trim level for the Ridgeline. And something I like here is that you can put these seats in their upright position, and you have a fairly flat floor back here to make it very easy to haul around whatever you need to haul around. If there's something that will fit back here when it's raining outside and you don't want to leave that in the bed of the truck, well, here's your option. And here's what we're going to have as far as leg space goes. I actually am very comfortable back here. There's more room than there appears to be. At least that's the way I feel. And what about head space? At 5'10", I have a lot of room to go above my head. Somebody over 6 feet tall will be just fine back here. And we'll find air conditioning vents on the rear of the center console. Now there's only a 12-volt power outlet down there. No USB ports. So you could get an adapter for your rear seat passengers, or they can bring it, plug it in there, and use that as their ability to use the 12-volt power, or excuse me, the USB options with that adapter. And recently we did a video on the 2024 GMC Canyon, and one thing that it was missing was something to grab a hold of to pull down the fold-down armrest. Have your cup holders built in here. I like the fact that you can still use this as an armrest even if there are 2 bottles in here. So the difference between the two, let's see if I can make it look similar to that, is that you didn't have anything to grab onto. You had a very tight fit right here, and you had to reach way in there and pull down the armrest. It was a little bit harder to deal with than what we have here. Just something to consider. You also have a power sliding rear window and rear window defogger. And by the way, in case you were wondering, we still do not have a panoramic sunroof. Some people will be okay with that, I think. Tell me what your thoughts are. Do you like the conventional style sunroof? I know for me personally, I prefer no sunroof at all. And something we didn't get to talk about earlier, but I wanted to show you, is you have the all-weather or all-season floor mats here that have the TrailSport logo right there, as well as what I told you about earlier but couldn't show you. There is the TrailSport logo that is embroidered into the headrest. Personally, I think that should be in the rear headrests as well instead of just the front. Tell me what you think. Also going to have your orange contrast stitching here. And we will have plenty of room within the glove box right there as far as storage capacity goes. The upper and the lower door bins and those same comfortable armrests. Now, changes here, we'll also find a new digital dash. This is a 7-inch display. Nothing unusual for Honda, but it's new to the Ridgeline. So a little bit more modern look compared to what we've seen in the past. At least that's what I think about it. You can tell me what your thoughts are on that. So we're seeing some changes here. There you go. You can go in and make changes depending on what you want to do. You can even change the look of the dash if you'd like to do that. You'll still have your paddle shifters here on the steering wheel. Here's where you're going to control everything for your headlights and taillights and your fog lights right there. Some of you might even know how to make that happen and what it does. Windshield wipers controlled right here on the right-hand side, and your steering wheel mounted controls as well. By the way, you do have adaptive cruise control with Honda sensing here. Road departure mitigation, lane keeping assist, all of that is here. You still don't have low speed follow, in case you were wondering about that. That's a very popular question that I receive quite often. And you will find your controls here for all of your windows. Lock and unlock. You can lock the windows or unlock the windows. And there are 2 settings for seat memory right here. Here are the controls for your side view mirrors, adjusting the position for that. If you want to go in or out of econ mode, you can do that with this button. This button is something that might interest a lot of people, because that is something I left out earlier when we talked about the mirrors. They are power folding as well. So again, not something that's new to the Ridgeline, but it's here. Might as well tell you about it. But here is something that is new. The new standard across all trim levels 9-inch touchscreen. Updated graphics. You also have a built-in navigation system here that has fewer menus, so simplified a little bit for you, just to make things a little bit easier to deal with. But you also have wireless capabilities for your cell phone, Apple CarPlay, and Android Auto compatibility, as you can see right here. And you will also find your vehicle settings right here. Let's see what happens when that comes up. What's interesting is that you don't see the door for a Ridgeline right there when it comes to your door and window setup. Just something I noticed that I thought was kind of funny, but you're still going to know what it is you need to change, whatever that may be, when you go into those settings. Now, we can go into reverse and see the multi-view rear view camera. That's not unusual. I am a little surprised that we didn't see all of those cameras come over from the Pilot TrailSport to the Ridgeline TrailSport, where you have multiple views, including the trail cam. But when we see a full redesign, I would imagine that's probably what's going to happen. We'll still have dual zone climate control, but unfortunately, unless you live in Canada, you only have heated seats. Now, some of you might take more advantage of that than we do here in Northwest Louisiana. I really want ventilated seats. We're already into the high 80s here in the middle of April 2024. Wireless charging is here. That's a good thing. There's almost enough room here. In fact, it looks like there may be enough room to have a second wireless charging pad for the passenger. Just something to consider if Honda is watching and listening. We also have our 12-volt power outlet and a couple of USB options. We're still going to have that push button shifter. Some people like it, some people don't. You can go into drive, that's the D right there, or sequential mode right there. You can go into that and you'll know what you're in by whether you have that S down there or if you have the D. I'll show you what that looks like as well. But that's not all we have. We also have multiple driving modes. We have snow, we're going to have mud, sand, and normal. Make our way back to snow right there just so you can see what's there. You can turn the auto stop start feature off right here if you want to, and you will notice some big changes right here. Gone are the built-in armrests into these seats right here. You don't have that anymore. The lid for the center console is now the armrest for the driver and passenger here in the front seat area. It works pretty well. It's nice and wide. You don't have that, what I used to call garage door style door that you opened here to gain access to your center console. Plus it's sitting up higher. I like that, but you still have a lot of depth down into that area. It works out pretty well. And to control your sunroof, here's where you're going to do that. And you're also going to have the ability to open and close the rear window back there, that sliding rear window that I showed you earlier. And here is your sunglass holder. All right, let's get out on the road for our test drive with the Ridgeline TrailSport. And right off the bat, I would like to answer a question that I feel a lot of people are going to have, and that is going to be, what is the ride quality like? When you talk about the changes to the suspension and how everything is retuned for better off-roading capabilities with the Ridgeline compared to other trim levels beyond the TrailSport, I can't really tell a big difference. Maybe a slight difference, but it's hard to tell for me. I don't think there's a major difference where you're going to hop in and really say, oh man, I came out of a Ridgeline RTL, a 21 or a 22, whatever the case was. I'm not so sure I can enjoy driving the TrailSport. So I don't think you're going to have any issues where that is concerned. But then again, that's one of those things where you really need to drive these vehicles for yourself so you can draw your own conclusions. Everybody has different driving experiences to draw on. So you might say you can tell a difference. You might say you can't tell any difference. It'd be interesting to know what different people have to say. And obviously a lot of safety features here to talk about as well, including all of the different airbags throughout the interior that hopefully you'll never need, but they are here if you do. You also have Honda sensing, and that's going to include adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, road departure, and lane keeping assist. Now, you won't have traffic jam assist, but for those of you who don't know, that actually is going to help in low-speed situations and heavy traffic, something I haven't really been able to demonstrate on other Honda vehicles because it's just been hard to find an area where there's a lot of traffic that moves at a slow pace for a long enough period of time to demonstrate it here in Northwest Louisiana. Overall, a very enjoyable vehicle to drive. Plenty of room. You won't feel cramped. Even being well over 6 feet tall, you will be fine here. No problems whatsoever, I don't believe, as far as getting the seat adjusted and all of those things go. Tell me what you think. Is the 2024 Honda Ridgeline TrailSport the most versatile Ridgeline trim level. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. What do you think about this exterior color that is also new to the Ridgeline for the 2024 model year? Always curious to know what you think. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at Holmes Honda for loaning me this Ridgeline for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. That way you don't miss any future videos. Tell me what you'd like to see in future videos. We'll try and make that happen for you. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.